to give you examples, especially, let's say, the examples that C.G. Jung used himself. And I must admit that these examples may appear a little bit trite, but they really are not, and they certainly were not when they occurred. So the real famous one is the one about the rose chafer. Now, the rose chafer in Europe, I guess they got them here too, is apparently a distant relative of the scarab, the scarab beetle, of the Scarabaeus sacer, as he is called in Latin, which is such a big figure in ancient Egyptian lore, the god Kefra. You know, from his name derived the name, for instance, in German of a bug. A bug is Käfer. You know, there are a lot of languages are European languages, and so have ancient Egyptian words in them in various ways. Anyway, that's another issue. In any event, it doesn't even make that much difference. Details don't make that much. A certain patient, woman patient of C.G. Jung, was in his office and telling him a fairly elaborate and quite energized, quite meaningful, powerful dream. There are those dreams that, especially when you tell them, recall them under the proper circumstances, really have quite an energy. So there was quite a bit of energy to the dream. The lady realized that this was a very meaningful dream, that this was bringing some important message to her. But she didn't quite know what it was. And as they were conversing, Jung looked at the window pane behind him, and on the window was crawling a rose chafer who looked just like the scarab in the dream of the lady. I probably didn't mention that there was a great scarab there. And so Jung contemplated that and pointed to the lady, look at the window, see? And the convergence of her recalling the dream, which was, of course,